And welcome back. If you're actively looking for a job, then you already know how difficult it is. With the unemployment rate in Miami-Dade County in double digits, the competition continues to grow. So how can you distinguish yourself from the mass? Gary Opper, managing member of Levy Opper LLC, is here to help. Thanks, Gary, for being here.
Good morning, Belkis. Welcome back.
Thank you.
To your job.
I know, right? So talking about jobs, you know, it's very difficult probably right now to get one. We brought this segment on because we want to help people get employed. We've heard of Monster.com. You know, that's the first thing that you think of when you think of places to go to get as far as resources. What are some other resources that can help job hunters?
Well, there's Workforce One, which is a state agency. It's run by the state of Florida, and it's located throughout Miami-Dade County and also throughout the rest of the state. And they have a database of jobs that are available. They also have, can help you. They have seminars that can help you with your resume, help you with interviewing techniques. They also have individual counselors that can help you, which is it's an excellent source that you can go to. In addition to Monster.com, there are the websites, Career Builders, Yahoo. There's also some ones that you may not know about, such as there's Jobsters, there's Simply Hired, and there's one called Indeed. And those are different in the sense that they go out and they search the internet through newspapers, through magazines, through company websites, finding jobs, and they consolidate it into one large database. So it's a little bit different than the Monster.com or Career Builders that they have. Mm-hmm. But they also, there's also the resource of the libraries have a lot of information that you can obtain.
It's funny because I remember back in the day it was all about newspapers or word of mouth or something, and now more and more people are turning to the internet to find these jobs. Right. Tell me about how you can increase your chances by networking and getting hired that way.
Yes. Well, obviously the people start on the internet, but obviously everyone else is starting on the internet, so you've got to differentiate yourself, as you said earlier, from the masses. And one of the ways you can do that is through the networking. What you want to do is contact your friends, your relatives, your acquaintances, make a list of all of them, and call them up and tell them, I'm looking for a job. Do you have any openings at your company, or do you know of any openings? Now's not the time to be humble or apologetic. You need to get out there. You want your face out there. You want your name out there. You don't want to sit at home and mope, which is obviously easy to do because it's very depressing. But you want to volunteer if you can. You want to volunteer so that people see you, see your name. If there's a trade association that's associated with your business, you may want to join that association, get involved, because obviously you're going to be interacting with people who are in your industry, and obviously they're going to know about jobs, or they're going to get to know you better, and obviously may offer you a job.
I've heard also, I read the other day something on a CEO who was saying that networking is the key. And he was also saying that many good jobs are not really even advertised. They're all word of mouth. They get spread.
Yeah, in fact, I read a statistic. Even though all these jobs are posted, 40% of all jobs are obtained through networking. In fact, tonight I'm going to a seminar that FIU is putting on networking.
Wow. And tell me about social networking. We've never had that, and now Facebook and LinkedIn, is it called?
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. Oh, you've got so
Come
many
on,
different. I know,
me.
right? I'm hardly ever on that. That's why. But you've got all these social networking. Does that help as well?
Well, it can help, but it can hurt. Facebook and all those are double-edged swords in social environment, but also in a business environment. You want to project a certain image if you're looking for a job, and you project that in your interview, but you also want to project it on the internet. And you want to, in what you say and what your pictures out there, the way you project yourself, you may not want to say certain things that you feel and just keep them to yourself. You may also not want to put your Halloween pictures on Facebook or your New Year's Eve pictures on Facebook.
Have you ever heard of people doing two Facebook accounts, like one that's a professional one, or
Yeah, there are people that do that, and obviously your professional one, you want to keep very professional. If you do have a personal one, obviously you want to not
make it visible, right?
Yes, and not tell everybody where it is, obviously just for your friends.
So once you get that call back, how can you prepare for an interview?
Well, there's a lot of places you can go. to find out about the company. Everyone now has the internet, so obviously you can go on the internet, find out what you can about the company, about the management. Your competition is going to know about them, but you want to actually go deeper than your competition, because obviously, again, you're trying to differentiate yourself. If you can, visit a store that they have, or visit a location, or find out as much as you can about them. The other thing you want to do is be able to interview well. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of places that you can go for mock interviews. There's internet sites which will give you questions. In fact, on Saturday, I'm going to FIU for a full day that I'm going to be an interviewer for mock interviews for accounting students. Oh. So they'll have the opportunity to have an interview with me, and obviously I can go offline and give them suggestions of how to improve. But that's a very important, again, your competition is doing it. They're people are very prepared now, and obviously employers have their choice of I heard the statistic, 25 people apply for the average job now.
Wow. And do you think that employers are looking for someone who is easy to get along with when they're doing this interview, or are they looking for someone to be more professional? How should the person portray themselves when they're doing the interview, or does it depend on the job?
Well, it depends on the job. Obviously, if you're going for a CEO of a company, then obviously you want to dress in a certain manner, speak in a certain manner. If you're going for a caterer for a food service company, you may dress differently. You want to dress appropriately. I always tell people whenever you go to an event or you're interviewing, you try to dress one level above how you think the person's going to interview you, or how the meeting is. So if it's a casual, then you may want to wear a dress shirt. If it's going to be a dress shirt, you may want to wear a tie. Obviously, if it's suit and tie, you certainly don't want to go there in your tux.
Right.
So there's a limit.
There's a limit to.
I guess this is it.
So do you think that the government is doing enough to increase employment? We've heard a lot about that in the economy and how it needs to gear up, and we've even heard the new governor talking about that.
Well, I think the government seems to be so focused on keeping interest rates low and putting out a money supply. Well, that's well and good, but what I would say to Mr. Obama and to the Congress is that you need to go out and create jobs. We need to do as President Roosevelt did during the Depression, in that we need to create jobs. And obviously, if people have jobs, and people are going to spend, and people can borrow this money that's offered at low interest rates. But that's, I think that's a key point that's missing in Washington. They're all employed apparently.
Yeah, obviously. So any advice, any parting advice on that terms?
Well, you don't want to get discouraged. Mm-hmm. Again, it's very easy to get discouraged because what you see in the news all the time. But you don't want to get discouraged. You want to get up, get out of your house. You don't want to mope around. You want to get out of your comfort zone. Most people don't like the cold call. They don't like, it's not fun interviewing.
Right.
We don't interview. We may interview 4 times. We may get 4 or 5, 7 jobs in a lifetime. I think it's the average used to be 7. But obviously that's not something that you learn. It is something that you have to learn. So you want to get out there and obviously get out of your comfort zone, do everything possible, and to differentiate yourself from everyone else.
And start making friends.
And it will turn out well for you.
Well, thank you, Gary. Do you know what topic we're going to be talking about next month?
Well, continue along this vein is I think we'll talk about how to create business plans. So if you're starting your own business, so that you have something in writing, because obviously if you have a written plan, there's a lot higher percentage of having success with a written business plan than just having some idea of what you want to do.
Oh, interesting. All right. Thank you so much. I'll see you next month.
All right. Thank you.
And still to come, Tai Chi can improve your balance, but did you know it can also help with arthritis? We'll show you the move that will make all the difference. And there are plans being worked on right now to give a popular road a facelift. We'll explain when we come back.